So I have come to the conclusion that to be a serious artist, I must continue to focus, but to stay alive as an artist, I must continue to expand. I don't know if I read that quote or if I wrote it or if I heard it somewhere, but it really resonated with me, especially with how much I've been writing and trying to push myself. In this video, I want to discuss how AI is changing the filmmaking industry, how I'm surviving, and how my idea of success has changed in 2026. In my last video, I talked about Sword 2 shutting down, and now a month later, AI is still being shoved down our throats, and that if you're not using it, you're already behind, basically. The most significant recent news about AI that I've noticed is Ben Affleck's new studio. It's called Interpositive.
Talent, people, creators are meaningful and necessary to the process of taking your investment and creating return. So you've got to, what we've sought to do is realign those incentives and say, listen, we're going to sit you effectively side by side with us, and we're going to give you more latitude and more breadth of control, because my belief is that creatively, you hire somebody who's excellent, you want to avail yourselves of their instincts. They're excellent and they're successful for a reason. Not so that they can sit here and I can tell them what to do, so that they can be empowered to do their best. And then you want to incent them so that they care about promoting the movie, so that they care about working on the movie. So we've sought to create those kinds of incentives.
Affleck noted that AI is going to disintermediate the laborious, costly aspects of filmmaking. I wouldn't like to be in the visual effects business. They're in trouble, Affleck said. He argues that while it used to take 1,000 people to render a complex sequence, AI will soon allow a handful of creators to do the same for a fraction of the cost. Which is great if you're a studio or, a smaller budget studio where you want to have this big, these big locations that are almost impossible to get. That's great if you are those people. But if you're the middle people, who do those jobs, like editors and, people who are, the middle crew of the film industry, those jobs are going to become significantly less and significantly harder to get. And can I just say that as a millennial, I'm tired, but I also have grown up my entire life learning a new technology every few years since the internet, since I was 7, which is crazy old to say out loud. I hate that. I think the biggest difference is how we're promised so much with AI as opposed to any other technology that I've ever dealt with and learned and seen the hype or seen, these false promises and all these things that happen with technology and as it changes. But I've never seen anything as crazy as AI, because I started using it back when it came out in the fall of 2022, I want to say. 2022 or 2023. So I've seen a lot of changes. I never thought that it would change this rapidly, especially in the video sector. I'm thinking of a video that I actually saw today, and it's from director Mark Fishbach. I think that's how you say his last name. He did The Iron Lung, which, if you don't know, he's a YouTuber, and he released this movie in theaters, and it did really well at the box office. He said that people using AI are going to get bored of it. They're using it for the novelty of it, and it will eventually wear off if you're not really putting your effort into it. But the reason we do any of this has never really been about gear or tools. It's about storytelling. It's about expressing yourself. It's about discovering the story, the connection that you're trying to make with your audience. I don't make movies to make money. I make movies to make more movies. I can't remember who said that, but that's exactly why I do it. If I didn't have to worry about bills, I would do this for free. It's not about having this instantaneous thing that will make it for me. It's about the journey along the way in order to make something significant and impactful and personal. Which brings me to my next point, which is the creators of these AI tools to create art obviously have a fundamental misunderstanding of what makes something impactful. And also, I wouldn't say that I'm the most amazing filmmaker. I have a long way to go, especially in the ways that I know I'm capable of. But what people have told me is I'm passionate. And passionate people make art, and they make it for a reason. AI has no reasoning. It only has references. I believe the future of filmmaking isn't the person who can create everything and harness AI and do it quickly. I believe it's someone who can do it quickly and exemplify taste. Because at the end of the day, it is a tool, and you do need these other components in order for it to actually be useful to you. And also tone. Tone is huge in film, especially. You need something that understands a very specific type of tone. Think the Daniels with Everything Everywhere All at Once, Coralie Forget with The Substance. Yeah, great movie if you haven't seen it. It's crazy. Bong Joon-ho with Parasite. Do we really think AI can write something like this, so specific and so dynamic from its own perspective? And one of the biggest reasons I think AI cannot do this is it has no reason why. Things are created. It just knows that this could be there. This has been done before. And maybe if I combine these words, it will look somewhat similar to what was created before this, but there's no rhyme or reason behind it. And I was thinking about just recent things that I've seen lately. So Euphoria season 3 came out recently, and I remember watching season 1. I was blown away. The cinematography, the music, the shock factor with everything. But season 3, episode 1 felt so different and felt so flat. And I couldn't help but think of when Stranger Things came out, and it's as if the directors completely forgot why their shows were so great. Labyrinth wasn't there, and he's the one who transcended the show's music into just this different emotion-filled explosion. Not having it there was extremely noticeable. I've heard numerous times that Sam Levinson stole Petra Collins' look for the cinematography and her whole style, and kind of passed it off as his own and fired her without, telling her that he was going to go ahead and use it anyway. And then also, I guess Euphoria is a remake from Israel, and the name of it is called Euphoria. So all of these things that I thought were these brilliant whys and nuances don't seem to have anything to do with Sam Levinson, other than that he has taste to bring those things together. But once those things start to get stripped away, you start to see what's left. And to me, it felt like a flat piece of script, that story that doesn't really go anywhere, and you don't really know why or care.
$3,887,000.
I've been thinking about my own work a lot, and especially with writing. I'm almost done with my feature screenplay outline, and I've actually never had so much fun writing an outline in my life. As artists, we like to talk about the difficulties and the roadblocks and different things that you need to solve constantly and how hard it can be. But I also just want to highlight that we chose this career because we love it, and we love stories, and we love talking about the things that we care about. And I've had this story in my head for 3 years now, so having the time to really structure it out has been really exciting to see. And I think that's what makes kind of part of the AI movement kind of sad, really, in a way, is some people will never know the joy of writing and looking deeply inside your mind for what the things you care about and why you do, and what may surprise you and what you may discover along the way, which is kind of what makes being a storyteller exciting, right? Like, you want to discover your own unique vision, your own unique thoughts, because at the end of the day, that's what makes storytelling interesting, and that's why you should create your own stories. Another way I'm surviving is staying open and curious to new experiences. I recently had my birthday last week, and we went down to southern Utah to celebrate and go glamping and go hiking through some slot canyons. And I think so often as an artist, you really do need to experience new things and see new things and meet new people and get different perspectives, because that also is something AI will never be able to do. It can replicate other people's experiences, but it will never have those feelings and emotions and connections attached to those experiences. And they'll never be able to come up with anything new completely on their own, which is why creating those moments and living life outside of your desk and what you see other people doing is so crucial to creating your own unique voice.
Yeah. Problem with coffins is they got lids. I'm enjoying the breeze.
And it's also something no one can replicate, which is great. It's something that no one will ever be able to do except for you. And that is your selling point, and that is how you get more work. That is how I built a following. That is how I've met the people that I've worked with that I like. Because at the end of the day, you do want to work with people that are kind of on your same level of, things you want to express or the way you like to work or however, because filmmaking is also just one giant group project.
Tell the ladies get plump.
Wow. That's so funny.
Fatten you foods. Honest fleshiness of form.
Having those different minds and collaborations is also part of filmmaking that AI will never be able to replicate. So make sure you use and utilize other people, which is something I struggle with because I struggle with asking for help, but that's okay. We're working on it. So other, than freelancing and getting a job, video jobs here and there, I've also been copywriting specifically for a luxury type of real estate brand, which is so random, but I can do it from home. So that's great. And I almost said no, but it's been surprisingly easy on the side. So make sure you're open to those kinds of opportunities to kind of keep you afloat when you're in between jobs. That's kind of what I'm doing right now, because I also write and direct and camera operate and edit and create social media content and branded content for fitness and spas. I've even been looking into becoming a fitness trainer on the side as a part-time job. And that's something that I've kind of shifted in my thinking is, well, maybe I'll just find a part-time job that isn't too stressful, that I can do on the side, I can do from home. And then I have time to work on my own projects. And it doesn't feel like I'm giving up my whole life and my whole days, but I'm still sacrificing, time and money to do this other thing that I'm really passionate about. And that's the ultimate goal. And that's kind of what's keeping me from going insane. I thought I'd be in a totally different place in my career. I got my dream job last year at a production company, and it was amazing. I was a writer-director, and it was so much fun. We did long-form comedy commercials. And now I'm waiting to hear back from a TV show that's been postponed for who knows how long, and if it will even get picked up. And, things change fast, so being able to adapt and try to keep the same goal but flexible with how I get there has really been my mindset, especially for 2026, with how things change so quickly from month to month.
Join the No Hair crew today. Hair removal for your balls.
And I recently became a judge for the International Film Arts and Hearts Film Festival in California, and I'm just doing it online. This is the first time I've ever done a judged for a film festival, because I guess if you're an award-winning filmmaker, you can judge. You're a winner! So it's been really cool to see films from all over the world and see how, a lot of us struggle with the same things, and a lot of us connect with the same things, regardless of who you are and where you live. So yeah, and I've also been able to network with a bunch of the judges through Zoom, and I don't know why I filmed this, but I just wanted to get some footage of what that looked like and what maybe it felt like. Because filmmaking is so hard, I feel like having a community is so important as well, which is kind of why AI feels so sad, because you're taking away one of the best parts of filmmaking, which is connecting with other people who also love it. So it's strange to like see it stripped away to just bare bones on what's possible. But on the flip side, it's also kind of exciting, especially for independent filmmakers who are trying to carve their own path. As the industry shifts once again, making your own path has never been more crucial for survival. Do whatever you need to do to get by, but always be ready when opportunity knocks, which is what I've been trying to be and grow as a filmmaker, even though I might not be on set, but I'm learning things to get to that point. The one who can adapt without losing sight of what's really important, that human perspective and intention behind what they make, will be the ones I predict will create new avenues for us to tell our stories. And the ones who care about what they're making and why, the ones who stay connected to that will stand the test of time. I hope, some of that resonated with you, that, AI is not going to replace us, but things have never been more difficult. So you're not crazy. Just try and figure out what you can do to survive and still make your art. Check out my book, Get Your Story Straight, if you are struggling with setting up your story and need that creative push and structure. I promise I make it fun. You can check it out, the link in the comments or on my site. And yeah, I'm trying doing these more. I feel like once a month is doable. I'll try and do 2 weeks, but let me know if you guys want to hear about anything else in the comments, and I'll check you guys out next time.